Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. Frank Lampard has given his pre-match press conference ahead of Everton's big game against Chelsea at Goodison Park on Sunday. Was asked about who was available for the game, confirmed that Yerry Mina will be back in the squad. He was rested in last week's Merseyside derby as a precaution. He is fit and ready to take his place back in the Everton side, I imagine, on Sunday, but he's certainly back in the squad. Frank Lampard also confirming that Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been training the last few days and will be back in the squad. He had time to deny that Calvert-Lewin was fit last week and just simply omitted from the squad due to all kinds of rumours going on. Said that's simply not true. But they confirmed that there's no Donny van der Beek, Andre Gomez or Ben Godfrey available for the game on Sunday. Said Godfrey may be back for the last couple of games, but he's unsure at the moment. Was asked about Tom Davies. He's obviously been training. He confirmed he'd been training with the first team for the last couple of weeks. Tom said he'd be available for the last few games of the season. Talked about him and said it was a boost to have him back and all of that. And also spoke about Anthony Gordon, reminding him of Mason Mount in terms of attitude. Good young player, works hard, wants to improve. So that's nice praise there for Anthony Gordon, who's had a bit of a tough week and was questioned as well about whether he thought Gordon was a diver. I mean, I don't think he was ever going to say yes, but he said he absolutely isn't. And went the reasons why, said how hard he works and him he runs a pace, so sometimes goes over under a challenge or whatever. And then was finally asked about whether or not, if the unthinkable happened and Everton were to be relegated, whether he would remain at Everton beyond this season. And he said at first, I'm not going to talk about that, but did then kind of come back to the question and say that he would remain at Everton for as long as the club wanted him to remain. So essentially confirmed that he would stay and try to build something, which is what he was talking about. But I guess he would want... He's just concentrating on keeping Everton in the Premier League first and foremost, and then the rest of it goes with it. So he seemed upbeat. He seemed, ready for the game. Obviously recognised difficult game, how good a side Chelsea are, but also our need for points. Said he has kept an eye on Burnley and Leeds and their fixtures, but really it's just about what we do. And that's all we can do. And also had praise for the fans as well. Obviously it was brought to his attention. The welcome and the coach and people trying to create the atmosphere to take into the stadium, and he said the fans have been superb for us and it's a great idea and we've got to do our bit once we're in, once the game kicks off. The players have got to do their bit to keep that atmosphere going, which I'm sure the fans are going to make electric on Sunday and make it difficult for Chelsea as possible, because they are obviously a fantastic football side. Everton are searching for an academy director and an under-23 head coach following the strategic review. Obviously, David Unsworth left his post as both jobs a few weeks ago, and Everton have split the jobs up and are advertising for both of them. Kevin Thelwell making his presence known now at Finch Farm, trying to get everything aligned. It wants to create a youth programme to develop players and give them a clear pathway towards Everton's first team, but also try and make the academy a profitable thing, because too many players walk out the door for nothing at Everton. We have to be better at not only making players for the first team, but also making footballers and footballers that other clubs want to buy, so that money can go back in. Everton have got to improve on every level, quite simply, and the strategic review was to look at that. We'll see whether any changes are made at the top of the club, I imagine, once the season's finished. And if it was a proper strategic review, then maybe that would happen as well. But certainly on the playing side and things like that at Finch Farm, it does seem to be kicking in now, the changes that he wants to make. He himself, of course, came to the club in February, and since then he brought Dan Purdy back. He was on gardening leave as a scouting operations manager. He's returned to that post to do that. And of course, just a couple of weeks ago, we brought in Kevin Nicholson, who is going to be the coach educator at the academy as Everton do try to get an ethos in place and a strategy in place that they can follow, because it has been a little bit just swinging and hoping in the last 6 years, and we have to get everything aligned. We need to do better. We should be doing better. on every level, and hopefully the strategic review will highlight that, and Everton can make some improvements as well and start to move in the right direction and have a structure in place. That is it for the News Daily. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. The match preview is out. Check that out. And if you want to become a patron, the link is in the description and there's a QR code on the screen now. See you later.